Hey, I appreciate that. Let me add a couple more people. So, hey, good morning, you guys. And Frank and I were having a conversation kind of pre-show, and we were talking about authenticity. And certainly, let's relate this to video. And sorry that my system is down today, but I'm on plan B right now. We're going to do it from my phone. I had a great presentation, but we're going to do the best we can. And so, the idea of it and what Frank was telling me about was Ricky Carruth, who is definitely a national leader in his training and his experience. And he was talking about authenticity. And again, that ties right into not being scared to not be perfect. Nobody's perfect. My hair's standing up, right? I'm scratching my nose, whatever. I do believe that you should, when you're filming, you should look as good as you can. Absolutely. You want to do that, but you can't worry about being perfect. And so the topic today is,
oh, there we go.
Yeah, hit your mute button there. So here's our topic today, right? How to make a video from A to Z that is going to help you in your business. And we're going to start. Oh, we got a lot of people joining. We're going to start in Chat GPT. And I'm not sure if all of you are aware of it, but there's an add-on, kind of a Google prompt that whoa, we got a lot of people joining. It's called AIPRM. Okay. Now, AIPRM is a chat prompt. So the big topic right now everybody's talking about is, how to ask chat to get the things that you want. And so what we're talking about, what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to determine how can we help the viewer, right? This isn't about anything other than determining what your video is going to be. So, I mean, obviously, if you don't know what your value is, then you really can't do it. So there is, I wish that I could show this. It's called Generate Buyer Persona. Now, buyer persona is basically talking about who your audience is. In this case, obviously, it's a buyer. But with this prompt in AIPRM, the Generate Buyer Persona is a prompt that's already laid out for you. I wish I could show you. I had it set up. But listen to what it says. It will determine the pain points of the buyer. In other words, the problems that the buyer's happening. When you put in your title and you make your video about a problem that people are having, that's the whole story with video, right? And so you've got pain points, and then you've got how can I help? So step number one is just get a piece of paper, get on your computer, go into chat, and try and determine what people are looking for in your market. Let's use Frank Crandall. This is a fake scenario. Orangevale. Okay, so if I go into chat and I take a look at buyers in Orangevale, what problems are they having right now? You could also look, you could go into Google and you could type in Orangevale real estate questions. And as you scroll down, you're going to actually see a couple of different lines from Google telling you what people are looking for. That's the gold with video, right? Think about it. You don't fish with a donut, you fish with a worm. And so in this case, what we're talking about is using ChatGPT to generate a buyer persona where we can enumerate the pain points and we can talk to the viewer about how we can help. So in Orangevale, we'll use Frank Crandall. And let's say that we run that buyer persona. We understand that what's happening in Orangevale is a lack of inventory. Now, this probably is a pretty legitimate conversation in all markets. I know it is here in Southern California. So if we use a title like this, I'm going to make it up, how to locate off-market properties in Orangevale. And so what we do in our video is we start to talk about the reality that, frankly, I love this conversation, is the value of off-market properties. In Malibu, for example, all the big stuff is sold off-market. So you have three different conversations: pre-market, coming soon, and just plain old pocket listings. Now, there are some laws. We have to be very careful about how we are, posing that. I recently did one for a $15 million piece of land in Beverly Hills, and I couldn't really post it yet because the agent was talking about, that it's going to be completely off market. But if we're talking about Orangevale and we're talking about how to find off market properties, the story that you're going to answer how you can help is this: technology is great, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, but the reality is that agent relationships, to have access to coming soon and off-market properties, is a significant portion of the market. If it's 40% of the market, the fact of the matter is your conversation to that buyer is, listen, you very well may be missing the opportunity to find the home you're looking for, because all you're seeing is what Google wants you to, what Zillow wants you to see. And so we have to really, in a gentle way, we have to really go after the third party companies, right? Realtor.com, Google, Zillow, because they are only delivering the information that somebody has put in the system. And when I first got in the real estate business, it was all kind of off market. You'd wait for the list to come and didn't get into the computer. So if you're going to attract a buyer in your marketplace, you want to identify that they may be missing properties, and then you want to talk about the value of that. Now, obviously, you are not going to talk about that unless that is your experience. It's very important that Frank, for example, be able to articulate his relationships with these other agents. The smart guys here in Malibu, what they do is they're out there, they're talking to people, they're going on open house and caravan. I don't know if you're doing caravan in your area, but when they go on caravan, they're talking to agents. If you go on 10 property, and by the way, guys, that's your job. Your job is to know those homes. Your job is to know that inventory. So when you really connect with the marketplace and you're talking to people on open houses and caravan, and they say, well, Frank, I've got something coming up. It's in Folsom, but it's going to be a really good price. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. You write it down. You start to network in your area. So when your video hits LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all of the different channels, and we'll talk about that in a minute, all of a sudden you become the local expert. Now, I will tell you that a friend of mine here in the high end, he is basically, so he doesn't have to leave the office, he is creating a weekly new listing. And so he is basically going in front of the camera, and he's putting the properties that are just hitting the market, a little picture on the thing, and he's talking about them. And he's obviously talking from experience. So your opportunity to really get into the marketplace is to be the expert, right? They don't want to see your dog and cat. The fact is that Frank Crandall, for example, did something a little bit different. He went around to one of the local schools in Orangevale. And Chris, his assistant, went and put in the B-roll. But the bottom line is, if you're searching to move to Orangevale and you're looking around, you're probably going to find that on Google. And when you find that, you're going to connect with Frank, because guess what? He's personable, right? He's authentic, and he's talking about the school. So you have the opportunity to find out who your buyer is, answer their pain points, right? And give them really solid information. I think the biggest issue has been in the past is the ability to actually create the video. Understand this: you can go live right onto YouTube from your phone, right? You're going to have to be very authentic to do that. But at the end of the day, they want real. They want real. And one of my favorites is literally just to take your phone, go out on an open house and go and show some of the properties and talk about what's happening in the marketplace. Here's the trick. So I probably shouldn't say this, but my friend who makes those great videos every week, there's no call to action. Okay. The call to action should be, to on YouTube, of course, is subscribe. Because when a person subscribes to your weekly videos of what's happening, in this case, Orangevale, then all of a sudden they're going to get authentic Frank Crandall every week talking about something that's going to help them in the process of, finding a property and making a move. But here's the key. You have to articulate that in the video. So in the video, you'd say, hey, it's Frank Crandall. Today, we're talking about a big problem a lot of buyers are having. They're not finding them. They're not seeing the off market. And here's why. The big three companies that are, I call them the Zips, the Zillows, the Googles, they don't have access to the market. Really, the agent, it really is the key. So and then here's what you say. You say, so if you want to find out everything that's happening, subscribe below, and that video of my updates will hit every single week. Now, here's a key. KV Core, and I want you to check this out. KV Core, on your webpage, if you scroll down, you'll get to a little area that says areas we cover. Okay. Click on Orangevale, in this case, like Frank, find your area. That neighborhood report is absolutely the atomic bomb because it has everything that's on the market. It's had recent sales, foreclosures, home values, and it's updated every 15 minutes. So now what you're doing is you're finding out what the message you want to get to your buyer or your viewer, and then you want to tell them that they're going to get this value delivered whenever to their mobile phone, but you also want to put a link in that video. Now, here's the good news. You can use ChatGPT to very quickly write your title and your copy in your videos. I think today, to be candid, we're talking a lot about YouTube. Here's the difference. I love Instagram. It's sexy, it's fun, it's fast, but here's the deal. Most buyers are really, they're going to Google and they're typing in, when they're thinking about moving to Orangevale, they're typing in Orangevale homes for sale, top reasons to move to Orangevale. So if you are putting your video with the right tags and titles, and last week, we talked about TubeBuddy as a way to use, all the systems to come up with those tags and titles. Listen, here's the deal. If I told you that I'd pay you $10,000 to spend a couple hours learning how to do this, you would probably do it. Listen, the reality is that this market and this world right now is making it much more personal. You are being turned in or focused toward being a person that is of value. And now we have this powerful tool called video, and you are able to share with the community the idiosyncrasies. Remember, that's our only job. We know more than Zillow. That's your context.
Hey, Bill, let me interject. One of the people, believe me, guys, if you're not doing video, just go to my videos. I'm here to give you hope. I am horrible, but it doesn't stop me. I just keep going out and doing it. The thing is that there's a lady named Krista Mayshore who's very, very experienced. Her theory is you need to get in front of your audience. They need to know who you are before you contact them. That's her. And she must be doing something right because she's making a boatload of money on her videos and everything else. And I think this is one of the things that Bill is trying to get across in our Tech Tuesdays every week, is that some of you are not doing videos for whatever reason. Okay. I encourage you, because the future is YouTube and Google. That's it. Plain and simple. Instagram, yeah, it's sexy, but those are the two big things that we need to focus on. because that's where you're getting a lot of your business. Forgive me for interjecting and
No
interrupting.
problem.
I just wanted to get that out.
So I want to add the kind of the last piece. So today, let's say that we're focusing on YouTube, and everything Frank said is very good information. But here's the deal. You know, some things are so old, they come back around. I've been using, well, I never really used it, but there's an online teleprompter called Big View, BIGVU. Big View now is integrated with AI. What isn't? And Big View will allow you to go into your chat, go into generate your buyer persona, and identify the content of your video. You could literally say, I'm an Orangevale realtor, and I want to share with my viewers how powerful it is to know the difference between the internet listings and actually what's going on with off-market, pre-market, and coming soon listings. That it will come up with the copy, boom, boom, boom. You grab that copy and send it right into Big View. And when you're recording the video, it will put that right on your screen. So you can literally read it. Now, I'm not a big fan of that. I saw Frank go last week, and he went in front of the school. I personally believe that if you can create a synopsis of your value of whatever it is, thanks, Chris. If you can create a synopsis and know your value and your focus and your key context, I call it a CPR, context, purpose, and result. If your context is, hey, listen, I am on the street. I know everything about what's going on in the market. And the difference is that you actually have to do it. You want to be going out and seeing those properties. Nobody wants to work on Sunday if you don't have to. But if there's 25 properties on there, you can go see all the properties. You can talk to all the agents. You can establish relationships for recruiting. Hello. And you can actually have value, because guess what? It's coming down to that. Technology will never replace a good, solid agent. It's going to replace a lot. And, you know, I'm going to probably help you guys out here in terms of how you're feeling. If you're feeling overwhelmed, welcome, because that is what's happening. When I look on Instagram, I'm flowing. There's like every day there's another AI you know, they're telling you AI videos, automatic leads, buyer, seller, it's all there. Those are tools that we're going to be able to use, and we're going to have an opportunity to benefit from AI. It's not going to replace us if we get out there and do the work to know the market. So today, the short story, a synopsis is, we're talking about YouTube. We're talking about you should plan on being on there once a week, make a call to action during your video to make sure that they subscribe, and you're going to be, you know what, it's Orangevale Live, right? And you are going around every week and you're doing some video in your marketplace. It could be the farmer's market. It could be a new mall. It could be a new listing. Hell, if there's a great listing that just sold in Orangevale, you literally go stand in front of it and say, hey, it's Frank Crandall. I just want to give you an insider scoop on why this home just sold for $50,000 over asking. What they don't tell you in the MLS is that it had a double lot. It had this, it had that. It's across from the lake. You know, if you boil down what we're talking about today, you guys got to get busy being realtors, right? Technology is not going to replace it, but what a great thing. Instead of going out and doing all this stuff, now you can do it and share it with the world.
Hey,
So,
Bill, can we open up to some questions?
Absolutely. I was just going to recommend that.
Yeah, let's get some interaction going. Anybody, fire away, please.
We got Big View put in there from Chris. Thank you. Thanks for your comment, Sid. Okay.
Norm Utley showing. Woo. Nice, Norm.
Chosen. All right. Okay. Great. Chosen. Thank you. How long should the weekly videos be? I would say realistically, Chosen, you could You could do some literally at a minute, but what the truth is about YouTube is 3 to 5 minutes would be ideal. And you know what's missing, for example, for my friend, is the call to action. Because when you go to your KV Core and you go to areas we cover and you grab the Orangevale link and you put it in there, spend a minute, 30 seconds articulating the value. Go look at it. And here's how I would do it. Hey, it's Frank Crandall. Listen, thanks for watching the Orangevale system video series. I have put in the link a link to the Orangevale neighborhood report. And I got to tell you guys, everything you're needing. You don't need to go to Zips and Zillows. You don't need to go search Google. Everything is one place. So click on the link and let me know, you know, what you think. So always have that call to action in there. Okay. Should there be fancy intros and outros? Well, I tell you the truth, it is very important. God, I wish I could show this. One of the things that I've done when I go on Caravan is I've already created a fancy intro and an outro for every area. Beverly Hills, Malibu, Pacific Palisades. So what I do is I have this cool intro that is best of Malibu, or Malibu open houses, or Malibu Caravan. And when I go in to create my video, I do put that in the beginning, because what's coming true now for YouTube is that thumbnails, they're not going away, but what's happening with YouTube is they've changed it a little bit. And so the first image actually is now going to be virtually the thumbnail. And so we can definitely, that's a great question, Chosen, but I do like the idea of something sexy. I don't like to go to a video that's got a boring image. And so you could literally take a picture of something cool, make a thumbnail. It is very important for YouTube to have an image that people are interested in. And no offense, but you know, I mean, if you're in Orangevale, I mean, it's a little bit harder. You know,
Yeah,
but
we don't have the luxury of Malibu, Pacific Palisades. Most of us live in the real world.
all right, Crandall, I hear you. All right, this is our
Hey,
next.
we got a question coming in from John.
All right, we are humans. Don't be afraid to be normal. Okay, consistent. Great. That's a great one, John. I appreciate that, and that is true. And it's very difficult sometimes. That's why I suggested, not contrary to what John just said, but just keep it simple once a week, and maybe make it on a Saturday or Sunday when you're out and around. I think it's important that you get out and start to use the inventory as a tool, as a backdrop. It's very cool. I walked into 75 million in Malibu, stood in front of it, and did a video talking about the location and the property. And by the way, everybody thought it was my listing. And I had asked the broker, who's a friend of mine, if I could make a little video. When you hold up your iPhone and you say to the broker on, it happened to be on Caravan, hey, can I shoot a little video, right? So I walked through a $75 million property, and then I stood on the beach with a house in the background. I talked a little bit about it. I cut it together. Listen, here's the good news. Editing and music and technology to make these videos has never been easier. But the one component that you have to add is you. Do you like YouTube Shorts? They seem to be effective. Absolutely. Good question, Martin. I unfortunately do a lot of YouTube Shorts. I do probably too many YouTube Shorts. I have ADD, so my mind is that I think in small bites. You know, I could go and give pretty much any content a great video in about a minute, but I think it's good to kind of spend a little bit more time, you know, in a neighborhood. Now, by the way, we've been talking about a particular topic that you're getting that happens to be answering a problem for a buyer, but watch this. The biggest and the best video you can do is probably a 5-minute video, right? And that video is talking about the top 3 reasons to move to Malibu, or the top 3 reasons to go to Orangevale. don't use clickbait, but do something interesting. The top 3 reasons nobody's talking about when moving to Orangevale. And it may be that, hey, they have horse zoning over there, or you can subdivide, or the top reasons that how much does it cost to retire in Orangevale, right? You know what? Here's the deal. We are now purveyors of good value and information. And here's the miracle: Chat GPT. It is unbelievable. It can help you become educated and articulate that. And if you're using Big View, it's going to even be a lot easier.
Bill, we got a question from John O'Sullivan.
You know what? I hold the camera in my hand the most part. You can very easily get a simple tripod. Here's the deal: if it's simple, it's easy, it's better, right? If I am holding my camera in my hand, you know what? Practice. I've realized that not all people are created equal when it comes to filming with their camera if they're walking through a property. But we have done, and I have posted and created videos of how to shoot those. You have to be smooth and make it a little interesting. Think cinematic. Think cinematic. Okay. Where is the best place to access Chat GPT? There. Okay. Well, the one AIPRM is the one that I'm using, and it has prompts. And one of the prompts is called Generate Buyer Persona. And it will give you the pain points, and it will tell you the goals of those buyers, and it will tell you how you can help, because now we are going to be of value.
We got about 3 more minutes for wrap up, because I respect your time and I do not like to go over 30 minutes. So anybody else have any questions? Folks, you guys are fantastic. Bill, no one has fallen off this call.
Great.
So you
Love
must
that.
be saying something entertaining.
Well, I love that. I'm proud to be here. I think this is a good one. And you know what? Here's the best part. I have to take my own advice. Use a gimbal. You can. I own them all. I don't use any of them. If you if you practice with the iPhone 13 and above, and it's all about iPhone. Don't the Android. It's just not the same. You can't move the videos around. It just I'm a big fan of that. Thank you, Angelica. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'd like to see you guys next week. I'd like to see what you guys have done. When we do our boot camps, we've done around the country. We don't let anybody out the door until we see what videos they've made. And I think definitely we should be talking about, like Chosen said, the intro, the outro. But get out there, stand in front of a listing, go on Caravan, learn the market. Hey, by the way, I mean, you can make thousands of dollars an hour if you get behind this. And here's the good news: your competition's not doing it.
Bill, can you put your phone number in the chat?
I can. Let me see if I can do it
Or
here.
Chris, can you do it?
I will do it here. 3.
Okay. If anybody has any questions, you can absolutely call Bill. He has a media company.
Yeah.
So he's got some street cred with us, if you guys know what I mean.
Love it. Love it. Well, I'm here if you want to call me, and we'll talk about it. And last week we had a gal that was on the call, and she's been doing some really good Instagram reels. And Frank, you've been doing some good stuff. So yeah, give me a call and I'll personally take a look at what you're doing and see if we can help.
Okay, where's your phone number?
I put it in there: 310-600-4484. I put it in the chat. Frank, Chris, can you put it in there again real quick? Anyway, there. Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. Listen, if you enjoyed what you heard today, please tell somebody that is very interested, or a friend, because I'll tell you, this is changing stuff. We're doing this organically. This just came as an idea, and we've grown it now to where we're getting some good feedback, and we just appreciate everybody that's on there, because you've taken time out of your day to do it. And we'll see you next week on Tech Tuesday at
All righty.
8 a.m.
Aloha. See you guys.
Can I ask you a quick question, Bill?
Yes, I'm available.
Yeah. Can you explain, I'm sorry, I'm pretty technically challenged. Can
Okay.
you explain the difference between a short and the other thing versus the other thing that you're talking about on YouTube?
It's just primarily the time you're taking to create that content. In the olden days, I used to poo-poo people that pontificated on and on and on. But now a 1-minute video is a good target for delivering a message. You want people to stay in there. But if you're creating good content, people are interested. You can go 3 to 5 minutes or even more if you have to. But those are a lot harder to edit, because it's a bigger file. But YouTube is definitely a good way to go with the longs. And then you can use shorts on Instagram and Instagram Reels, stuff like that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right,
All right,
everybody.
kids.
Have a great day.
You got it. Thanks, Frank.
All right. Thanks.